Here are the 10 most powerful swords in Warhammer 40K's history. At number 10 we have the Blade in Carmine. Forged during the Great Crusade, this ornate power sword was one of Sanguinus' primary weapons. Wielded alongside the Spear of Telesto, the Primarch carried this sword into battle against the legendary enemies like Gabanda, Kyrus and Medail, its blade cutting through the enemies of humanity with unmatched grace and power. But the Blade in Carmine was no ordinary sword. It's said to respond to only those who carry the gene seed of Sanguinius, a testament to its bond with the Blood Angels. After Sanguinius' death, the blade was passed down to Belarius, the first chapter master of the Blood Angels, seen as a gift from the Primarch himself. It was then later lost to an orc war boss who was possessed by a demon of Tzeentch, and then it was recovered millennia later from the Eye of Terror and now resides safely on Baal. Number 9. The Silver Blade of Lair. So the Lair Blade, or also known as the Silver Blade of Lair, is a weapon steeped in dark history. It was recovered by Fulgrim, the Primarch of the Emperor's children during the cleansing of Lairen during the Great Crusade. So at first glance, this blade was a beautifully crafted single-edged sword, but its true nature was far more sinister. The blade was a demon weapon, imbued with the essence of a greater demon of Slaanesh. So for a time, the demon trapped within the blade possessed Fulgrim, slowly twisting his mind and leading him down the path of corruption. So after the Dropside Massacre, when he used it to kill Ferrus Manus on Isvan V, the blade was then later passed down to Lucius the Eternal, a champion of Slaanesh, as a mark of favor. Though the demon eventually left the sword to inhabit Fulgrim's body, the blade retained a lingering aura of its former power. Today, the Blade of the Lair is still deadly in the hands of Lucius. In his grasp, it remains a symbol of Slaanesh's favor and a reminder of the Emperor's children's fall to chaos. Number 8. Fealty. So Fealty is a blade that is as honorable as it sounds. It is a radiant power sword, a weapon of light and purpose wielded by the reborn Primarch Lion L. Johnson in the dark days of the 42nd millennium. The Lion discovered Fealty within the enigmatic realm of Mirror Caliban, a place that is as mysterious and brooding as the Primarch himself. Forged with craftsmanship that rivals even the Emperor's own works, Fealty is more than just a weapon. It is a symbol of the Lion's transformation. Just as he has evolved from a reckless warrior into a mature contemplative leader, Fealty reflects this change, a stark contrast to the fiery, impulsive lion sword of his youth. Fealty's true power lies in its synergy with the lion's abilities. It enhances the lion's mastery of forest walking, allowing him to traverse the twisted paths between reality and the unseen. The blade's radiant edge cuts through the darkest of enemies, as demonstrated when the lion faced Angron, the demon Primarch of Khorne, in Wormwood during the Arcs of Omen campaign. Number 7. The Dawn Blade. The Dawn Blade is a weapon shrouded in mystery and darkness, wielded by Commander Farsight, the renegade Tau leader who founded the Farsight Enclaves. Farsight recovered the blade from the ruins of Arthur's Moloch, a dead world haunted by the remains of an ancient Xena civilization. In a desperate moment, he tore it from a fallen alien statue to fend off a bloodthirster during a chaos incursion there. Since then, the Dawn Blade has become his weapon of choice, its alien design modified to fit his XV-8 Crisis battlesuit. The blade is older than the Imperium itself, forged from materials and technologies that even the Tau Earthcast cannot comprehend. Its edge cuts through everything with ease, while its surface flickers with a strange energy that leaves glittering arcs of destruction in its wake. Yet the Dawn Blade hides a terrible secret. It's made from chronophagic alloys, meaning it steals the lifespans of those it kills and grants them to its wielder. This has allowed Farsight to live for nearly 3 centuries, far beyond the natural lifespan of a Tau. Though Farsight suspects the blade's unnatural influence, he still remains unaware of its true nature. Number 6. The Lion Sword. The Lion Sword was a legendary blade of Lion L. Johnson, the Primarch of the Dark Angels, a weapon as noble and deadly as its wielder. Crafted by the Emperor's own armorers on Terra, it was a masterpiece of power sword technology. Its blade glowed with a pale inner light and ignites everything it cuts into flames. The sword became a symbol of the Lion's prowess, a tool of justice and retribution during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. The Lion wielded it in countless battles throughout the Great Crusade and the Heresy. It proved worth during the Imperium Secundus era when we saw it cut through Conrad Kurtz's Nightmare Mantle in one of their duels. However, the sword was shattered when an enraged Guilliman broke it in half after the Lion ordered a bombardment on one of the cities in the realm of Ultramar. By the end of the heresy, the lion sword was restored, and the lion used it to challenge Russ once more in the Imperial Palace. In a moment of raw emotion, he stabbed Russ through the chest, but in a split second, he turned the blade aside, sparing his brother's life. The sword's final fate remains a mystery, but many speculate that it is carried around by the fallen called Cypher. Number 5. The Anathema. So this one was a relic of dark power, crafted by the enigmatic Canebrak, and later held by the Interrex, which was a human Xenon civilization. At first glance, it seemed simple, a flint blade with a golden hilt, almost primitive in design. But this blade was far from ordinary. It was forged from an ancient stone, one that had been soaked in the blood of countless murders throughout human history. It gave it a kind of symbolic weight, a connection to violence and death that made it more than just a tool. It was a weapon with a will of its own. The Interrex claimed that the Anathema was semi-sentient, capable of being instructed to recognize a specific target. Once it did, it could mortally wound that person, no matter how powerful, no matter how far they are, or even immortal they seem. And that's exactly what happened when a mortal man named Eugen Tember wielded it. Corrupted by the stench of Nurgle, the Anathema struck Horus, one of the Emperor's mighty Primarchs. That single blow set off a chain of events that would plunge the galaxy into the Horus Heresy. Later, the Anathema resurfaced in the hands of Fulgrim, another Primarch, and he used its dark power to ascend to demonhood, cementing its reputation as a weapon of ruin. Number 4. Anaris. So Anaris is the last and greatest of the 100 blades forged by Val. And who is Val? He was an elder god of crafting. This story begins with a pact. So Val promised another god of war called Cain 100 perfect swords in exchange for freeing Isha, the goddess of life, from Cain's prison. Val delivered the blades, but there was a catch. One of them was flawed. Cain used the sword to battle Kalis Ra and the Inger, ancient star gods, but nearly lost because of that single imperfect blade. To make amends, Val reforged the flawed sword into Anaris, a weapon of unparalleled power. But Cain's wrath couldn't be so easily appeased. He attacked Val, crippled him, and claimed Anaris as his own. The sword became a symbol of divine betrayal and vengeance, a weapon too dangerous to ignore. This weapon here is one of the most powerful blades, since it is one that transcends mortal hands and was made for the strongest of the Eldari gods by another Eldari god. Number 3. The Emperor's Sword. So forged by the Emperor's own hands through a fusion of unparalleled science and warpcraft, the Emperor's Sword is a blade unlike any other. Wreathed in eternal flame, it is anathema to chaos, a weapon so potent that even the greatest demons fear its touch. To those cursed with ruinous powers, its mere presence spells oblivion, for it does not merely banish demons, it annihilates them utterly, ensuring their true death within the Immaterium. During the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, the Emperor wielded the sword with devastating mastery, carving through the hosts of chaos, especially in the War in the Webway. After his internment in the Golden Throne, the sword was left untouched for many millennia, until when the galaxy teetered on the edge of annihilation during the 13th Black Crusade, as the reborn Primarch Guilliman took up his father's weapon. And now it has proven its worth again when Guilliman battled Mortarion, and also when he fought Magnus on the moon. Number 2. Dracnian. So the End of Empires is no ordinary weapon. It is the echo of the first murder, a being of pure malice bound into the form of a sword. Its origins trace back to the dawn of humanity, born from the act of the first murder, a primal act of violence that shaped its essence. Today it is wielded by Abaddon the Despoiler, the War Master of Chaos. But in truth, Dracnian is a demon and has no fixed form. It is a force of destruction that defies mortal understanding. The sword appears as a nightmarish fusion of gold and blue, with a leering demon face above the hilt and writhing tormented souls etched into its blade. During the Horus Heresy, the demon Dracnian invaded the Webway, where it clashed with the Emperor of Mankind. The demon took on the form of a Stone Age war chief and then as his sword, impaling the Emperor and declaring it would be his death. But the Emperor, in a desperate act, ripped the blade from his body and hurled it at the custodian called Ra Endymion, binding the demon within him. He ordered Ra to flee, sealing Dracnian's fate for a time. Now it has been reclaimed, and in Abaddon's hands it is a weapon of apocalyptic power, a symbol of chaos, eternal hunger for destruction. And number 1. Warbringer. The Warbringer is Khorne's weapon, a chaos god's weapon, a gargantuan demonic sword that embodies destruction itself, also known as the War Maker and the end of all things. It is a force of pure chaos. When Khorne the Blood God wields it, the Warbringer doesn't just cut through flesh or bone. It tears through the fabric of reality. A single swing can rip open the veil between worlds, unleashing Khorne's legions of bloodthirsty demons to spill into the mortal realm. It is the kind of weapon that doesn't just win battles, it ends them before they even begin. Outside Khorne's brass citadel lies something called a Canyon of Death, a massive jagged scar in the earth that stretches deeper than anyone can fathom. Legends say that it was created by the Warbringer during one of Khorne's infamous fits of rage. In a moment of uncontrollable fury, he struck the ground with the blade, and the earth itself split apart, forming that canyon. So the Warbringer isn't just a tool of war, it is a symbol of Khorne's endless wrath and his desire to reduce all existence to blood and ruin. And so with that, we come to the end of this video on the 10 most powerful swords in Warhammer 40K's history. So do hit that like button if you like this video, and to support us, to help us with the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, take care, boys.